Clash of Clans podcast, OG, episode 68. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Scotty827, joined by the one and the only Tyler from CQR2, mostly formerly CQ Revolution. How's it going? How's your summer?
Pretty good, Scotty. Busy summer, man. You think as a teacher that everybody thinks, oh, you get 3 months off and it's just the best thing ever. But I usually work every summer, just in a warehouse, and it's usually pretty chill, laid back job. But this summer was extra busy in the warehouse for some reason. And then I thought for sure I hadn't been pushing like the last 3 or 4 months in Legends of the school year, and I
I
thought,
saw
well,
you.
maybe I'll get back into pushing, and then I I just didn't have enough time, man.
I saw you on the
I don't
leaderboard
know.
by me.
Yeah. This month I thought so. I started on the first, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it this month. I'm gonna just the one account. I'll do it. It's so hard with the three. I don't know how I was ever
Yeah,
doing that in the past.
like
I look back now and I'm like, how did I do that?
when you go back, do you think, how did I ever squeeze in a job around everything else I have to do?
Right? Like I was
It's like,
counting out the minutes last night. I'm like, 24 Legends hits, and even though it's only 3 minutes, like if you're transitioning between accounts and then donating to yourself, it's probably around 4 or 5 minutes. I'm like, that's like over an hour and a half of just Legend hits. Like, how did I do that? How
it
was I
sounds,
squeezing that all in?
it sounds actually kind of lovely. Like when you get really busy and stuff, and then you're like,
Yeah,
I just need like to get away and just
exactly.
like a brain suck.
I
Um,
think that was kind of what it was for me in the past. Like it was a good thing in the morning to start off my day, kind of get my brain going, but
yeah.
also just kind of de-stress, kind of everything,
Some people do
or
Wordle, other people do
yeah,
war, right?
everybody, yeah. Other people do their legend hits
Yeah.
for the day.
Just really a matter of
Exactly.
how
I
bloody
mean,
you want to
every
get.
to each their own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
One
Yeah.
just takes a lot longer than the other.
So you're back in Legends. How's it? I guess, like Swim last month. Was it last? No, 2 months ago. He went in just a week and went to his personal best at the very end,
Yeah.
even.
So last month I heard that podcast, and then last month Drew was pushing kind of hard the whole month, and I told him I'm gonna catch you in. I think there was 10 days left of the season. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see how many days it takes me to catch you. And he was up in like the 56s, and it took me like 4 days, and I caught him. And I was like, "It's so dumb, like,
Surprise,
how you
motherfucker.
can." Yeah, exactly. Like,
No.
I don't know how you can it's just how you're set up against people, that day or whatever. Because I think they're just, like, those tiers of where they kinda set you up at the beginning of every day.
Yeah.
And then, like, pushing this month so far, just starting on the 1st, which I know which wasn't the first day of the actual season, but I just thought, I'll just start on August 1st. Um, I The first day, I had 199, the rest were all triples. Then the next day, I think I went perfect. Um,
Jesus.
then yesterday, I had 3 non-triples. I ended the day with a freaking 1 star. It was an awful attack
Oh,
at the end of the
yeah.
day.
I hate that.
Then, today, I'm 5 attacks in and a 4 out of 5 triples. But I'm starting to see those harder bases, and then on defense, starting to see the tougher defense. So I think I'm like at the
Yeah.
upper kind of tier right now of those hits. I did see a post of somebody's on Twitter today how they were already at like almost 5,700 trophies.
So I,
Um,
I think when I looked last night, we were about 25 apart or
yeah,
somewhere in there. And you never really quite know in the Legends Day, but I think it was about midnight there's sometimes where I just like, it's like an hour before Legends is done and I will just not look because there's not two hits and I'm just like, I don't want to know,
yeah.
you know? Uh, And I saw that. So we're about right now, anyways, I guess. I started a couple days earlier than you did. What are your plus for the day? What's your minus for the day?
Plus minus.
I
Um,
guess like yeah, total trophies gained
yeah,
because I'm hitting about. I noticed I think I'm at like 289. I think is about there, which
your
seemed to
average.
go up about 20. With I'm just doing really. I was doing better all of a sudden, and I was trying to figure out just kind of look at trends. I should just look at the Discord stuff, but I'm just puzzled out myself. What's your like? What was your like yesterday on defense and like on offense?
So yesterday I was 274 and on offense, 214 on defense, and I only had 7 defenses, so got lucky there. So it
So your
was
so your
plus
offense
60
again?
overall, 274.
Okay. Okay, I'm just curious because people do really well and stuff. I guess I just always feel like when people are talking about it, I'm not seeing the same map for some reason, because my defense is I've been home about 3 to 4 40s, and then it started to go up. So I'm just trying to find out what's normal, really, when I ask that.
Yeah. So I just pulled up my bot for um, what I've done so far. So and it starts on day one. So I didn't even day one, day two, day three, day four. I only got 3 attacks, 4 attacks, 2 attacks, 4 attacks. So I started on what is this season's day 5. Got all 8 attacks and went 312. Only had 3 defenses and went minus 55. But that was because I was initially at 5,000. So like those people are either trying to get out of Legends or just barely
Yeah.
getting into Legends, not really knowing what they're doing. So
Yeah, it can
those
almost look like
defenses
you're
are
gaining no
garbage.
traction. Yeah.
Yeah. Day 6, which has been the second day that I actually pushed, I went perfect for 320. I had 8 defenses and went 215. So I still gained 105 trophies with 8 attacks and 8 defenses. Then yesterday, 274 and 214 gained 60. Or sorry, that was 2 days. No, that was yesterday. Yeah. And today I'm at 189, but I still have 3 attacks left, and I've had 4 defenses for 151, and I'm plus 38. So I feel like you can gain like in the first few days, if you're down in the 5,000s, it's easy for you to gain around 100 trophies as long as you go perfect, or even more than that if you don't get as many defenses.
Yeah.
But then after that, like I think where I'm at right now, 5,400, just 3 days into my push or 4 days into my push. I think from now on, it'll be hard to gain more than 30 trophies a day.
Yeah, that's what I was
And I'll have
thinking.
to go like 6 or 7 triples a day
Wow.
because I have a hard time going perfect it's really hard to go perfect every single day.
Oh, I know.
I think the
Oh,
best I've
I
ever done
know.
is 4 or 5 days in a row, and then I screw it up, and I'm like so pissed. I'm like, no.
Well, it, and I think that's kind of maybe where I'm getting at too, in a sense, is like when I hear like you talk about it, or I hear a different person in the clan talk about it, or whatnot, and talk about going perfect. I'm not experiencing that at all. Like I don't know if I maybe I had one perfect. I don't think I ever did. Maybe I did, but I don't think I've had one perfect day. And I'm still doing pretty well in Legends, and I think mine is just a tortoise kind of thing. Like eke it
Just
out.
slow gains.
Yeah, I mean, I got up there, and I think part of it is definitely it's your base strength, it's your offensive strength. I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
really you just can't get to a certain point, and I noticed that once my base, as it gets stronger and it's getting really up there, that I'm just gaining in trophies. I mean, I don't think necessarily it's all skill, but I am getting better at it. Um, but it's just I guess for me to say I'm I'm hitting my personal best and pushing up every month, but I'm not doing the perfects, or I'm not seeing that type of legends where it's like a
Not seeing
perfect
that.
game. But I
Yeah.
finished pretty high last month. It
It's so hard to go perfect. Like, I think I mean, I did it that one day, but I was kinda lower. It's really hard to not make a mistake in this game,
yeah
and even just a minute mistake, and we've noticed the past couple of days, at least in our clan, a couple guys that have been talking that these, new troops on the map are kinda slowing things down, and we've had a couple time fails.
yeah
Like, I've had 98s and 98s or 99s because of a time fail, because that army camp gets popped, and then there's 2 or 3 things behind it, but then I have to spend some time getting rid of that. It's and the wizard's probably not that bad, it's the stupid broom witch that takes a minute to get rid of.
that's what the hell that
Um,
thing is.
yeah, that broom witch, yeah.
That's what
It's
it.
we were joking the other day that the WWE thing was really cool. Like, those camps were sweet and, like, the troops that this one, they it feels like they just, like, "Oh, yeah, let's throw this," because like, the Ice Wizard doesn't slow you down at all. Like, if you have anything besides, like, a one arm,
Yeah,
one troop to go against it, it just demolishes the Ice Wizard, or the other I remember what the other one is that's popping up on there.
I,
Um,
you know what? And so first off, let me say this. Um, this I totally get it. This was my yesterday where I'm feeling like really good about myself, right? Um,
mhm,
going into yesterday, but it was a 95, 94, 93, 100, 99, 95, 100, 100. It was all like time fails. And I was starting to
mhm.
feel it because I was basically saying, I'm not going to use that damn Azure Dragon. First of
'Cause you're
all,
using the ground army, right?
yeah. And,
Yeah,
and
same.
it's just like what you're saying with the WWE stuff, right? So it is August 2025, Clashiversary, Clasherama month. The season dropped, and I think what you're getting at highlights one of my just really my complaint. Show us the information. Like things are off, and kicking. But so this the Azure Dragon, right? This pops into the army, but I can't even see the hit points on it, or I can't find them easy enough, and I didn't really know it was gonna be in there.
And you can't train it right now either, so can you even look it up?
No.
Ah, so you're relying on the past knowledge or, like, content creators. Because I remember I watched Itsu's video, and he was talking about how it was tanky and it had this many HP, but he knows that from
Yeah,
them getting the knowledge, but yeah, that's a good point, we don't
and
know anything about it.
and Judo put up a graphic with it. Um, but these army camps too. I don't even know what's in those army camps to be honest with you. I just know that the build. I don't even know which ones have changed. And I was looking up the.
So there's only 3 of them out of the
It's
4.
been CWL start, so I've been kind of crazy busy.
Yeah.
But so the army camps
They have
changed.
little they have little icons next to them, but you have to zoom in to see it.
Is
So
this
they
on the
all
army
have the
camp?
pinata. Yeah, so if you go to, like, a replay, I'm in a replay right
Oh,
now watching. So on the army camp, and it's only in regular play, like, it's not in CWL or anything.
I
They
see.
kept it out of wars, so it's only affecting your single player. You zoom in, and the pinata army camp is the same, but there's a little sign next to each one. So you got the broom witch, the ice wizard, and where's the third one? That one's not changed. Where the heck is it? I'm looking at my disgusting looking map that I had to buy and fill with decorations to try to trick people. Party wizard?
Okay. I
I
see.
think that's what that is.
So
He's like purple haired.
why not? You know, I when this stuff drops. Wait, is this on the Summer Dram thing? No.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Well, no, it's just
So in
Clasharama season, and then I didn't watch their video because I never watched their
oh,
videos. I just
there's
always go to a
don't miss
content
the
creator.
Clashiversary events. And I checked out this video. Or maybe this is oh yeah, I saw this video that popped up. I don't know what like I feel like I'm missing something. I mean, just put it in the news like right here. Hey, here's
Yeah.
this army camp. This is
Yep.
like
These will be on your army camps.
yeah, I don't get
Here's which ones you're gonna have to attack.
I kind of feel like
Here's what's
somebody
gonna pop out.
forgot to do something. You know, like introducing the army camp pinata. Like,
Yeah.
hey, here's this. And just to go in before I attack, you know, like to do it. I was just kind of, I don't know if they did that during the
Bamboozled.
WWE thing. Yeah, like that first one. And so then I was kind of holding off on I just didn't even notice the pinata thing for a little bit. And then I was kind of coming up short and I'm like, I'm not using that Azure Dragon because this is what happened during the WWE. I start hitting 10% less in normal attacks or 5% less because I've kind of built it in. Um, but now that I realize those camps are spawning stuff, uh,
Hmm.
I'm like, well, I'm going to have to use it just to counter
Yeah. So
the
are you using
points.
an RC entry?
Yeah, I'm still doing. So here's I'm loving this army. Uh, it's working really well. Um, for me, as long as I don't make a mistake. I mean, that's where I think I fail.
Yeah.
But I'm using, I'll just, let me pop it up here. I'm using 5 healers, 6 furnaces, 5 roots, 3 minions, 1 E Titan, and 2 super minions.
Hmm.
2 rage, 3 invis, 1 recall, 2 freeze. And then in my CC, I use a siege with 3 furnaces and a clone.
Wow.
And
It's a Noah's Ark.
yeah, I love
You
it.
got
It's
just about one of everything in there.
one, and I adapted it from Shock's attack. I
Yeah.
think I started kind of playing with it when he had that one of his early fireball attacks, right? With he had the rage
Hmm.
barbarians. I think we talked about it even. Um,
Yeah.
and so I kind of had that. I was working on that, and then I was like, well, why wouldn't that work with my old army? And so I'm always just evolving the one I have.
Yeah.
And so what I do is I drop. Okay, here's the big key with this. I've discovered, and this is where I think I'm getting my I'm starting to feel it a little bit. Is I kind of and just even squint your eyes at the thing. So ignore everything on the base except for the pathing. And I look at where I want my warden to arc into, to like fall into, because I'm
You
going to start with a warden walk. And it
got the
seems like,
fireball for him?
nope, I have the,
No?
nope. Oh, I could say that too. I have the bracelet and the phoenix and the spiky ball and the king, Frosty, the mirror, and the giant baby, the um, snot guy, the healing tome, or not the healing tome, the eternal tome and the life gem on the warden, and then the RC has the fox, the boots, and the spear.
Mm.
And so what I do is I take a 3 invis, so I ignore everything that I on the base, like ignore the scatter shots, ignore everything, and I'm just looking at it. Where do I want my warden to arc into? Because if I start with a warden walk, he's really only going to go he's only going to arc a little bit, right? Like to fall
Yeah.
in. So I'm thinking about where do I, and I want him to fall into the town hall. So I'm like, he's only going to go over about, you know, maybe half the base at the most and then come in or vice versa, whatever. And so I'll carve out a chunk wherever I want my warden to fall into the town hall, like on one side of it. I'll start the ward the warden walk, and I'll drop two or three furnaces after that RC thing is done. I mean, and then I recall her out. And then the other side, I drop the siege, one furnace, and then I'll drop the E Titan a little bit closer to kind of walk into where my warden's going to go. Um, on the one side, like on one half of a base. Am I making sense on this?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I drop my queen and my king, and I kind of walk them out so they're going to meet up. And then I drop and then furnaces to kind of follow along with the warden, and then the roots straight through. And I use those one super minion for cleanup and one to kind of funnel.
Hmm.
And I have really good luck with it because so I go in and rage, and everything is that part's pretty much normal to what you would expect. But the one thing I'm doing is I'm not cloning the furnaces, I'm cloning the snots.
I remember hearing that on one of the other pods.
And I really got to try a mass snot thing because they have so much DPS. So, like, usually it's about, right before where your army's like in that last, you've kind of made through the first big push, and now you don't know if it's going to like fall apart, and one's going one way and this is that. That's when I clone it, when there's a like rogue snot or whatever going to the outside where it just needs a mass of stuff, and that's the stuff that's really cleaning up. And if I don't do that, then if I miss the snot, then it's really anybody's game.
Haywire after that.
Yeah. But and if I can I've noticed also, like, it helps. So the clone becomes a, a couple things. Like, let's say I miss a snot and the thing dies. I can clone the furnaces. Most of the time the snot and the furnaces kind of overlap. But with the snake bracelet, if I lose the snots or if I just need, I can clone the snakes. So it can be kind of a kind of work for anything. So, but I've been having a
Sounds
lot
like
of fun with it.
it's really versatile. Like you've got with the clone thing there, you've got a lot of options. How many does it clone? Do you know? It's like you
Um,
place down the clone, how many pop out? Because I've never looked into what a snot's
yeah, I gotta look that up.
army
Uh,
camp space is.
let me see here if I can look it up. I'm not sure. I think there would be at least 8 to 10 um
Wow.
that pop out on a thing. I'll have to look that up. I never never thought to even um and I thought, like, and they come out right, like I'll clone them right in front of fire spitter. I will clone them right in front of high, right in front of
Yeah,
a
high
multi gear,
damage.
and they'll take it out. So usually it's like those, I see one of the snots going towards a inferno tower right into the worst of it, and I'm like, okay, you're getting it, so that I can just pound through it. Um, and then they protect the heroes from a couple shots, and
Yeah.
um,
It's almost overwhelming the defenses with the
yeah,
the quantity of troops, right?
yeah,
I feel like that's kind of what the snake bracelet like became popular for was because when that king, at first everybody's like, this is garbage, but then somebody started using it and the pros started using it. It was like, it actually is pretty good because when you're going around the outside of the base, or even if you're on the inside of the base and you've got all those snakes just popping up, like the
yeah,
defenses can't keep up with the amount of snakes and the amount of regular troops. And like those snakes are great. I've been using the snake bracelet since I got it pretty much right when it came out because of that exact reason. And I put my king on the outside of a base usually. And now, while he's smashing stuff on the outside, those snakes just hop over the wall and hit, the stuff on the inside. And usually, take it out, um, while the king's just smashing stuff around the outside. Like it's just genius to do that around the outside of the base. And I usually have the queen following as well, but like defenses can't keep up with the snakes, the king and the queen. You know,
And they hop over
especially if you
walls.
got the and they hop over the wall. It's like the queen can't reach that one defense in the very back. Well, the snakes can, or the king's dumb and just walks around the outside, doesn't go in the walls. Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
The snakes go on the inside. So
And
it's like,
and when you're looking at it too, like you're hitting with that like let's say you're going up against like a monolith, all of a sudden you've got a chance. You
yeah,
see your king
oh
walking
yeah, or
into
a
it.
single,
Yeah,
inferno. You're like, oh no, I'm screwed. The single's gonna kill me. Nope, your snakes
yes.
have
How many
come and
snakes do we got out
overwhelm it.
there? Well, what are you running right now? And it doesn't
So
say housing space of boogers. It says a housing space of and this is, I mean, why not include that? Supercell, come on now. It'll say on Sneezy it says housing space,
hmm
20 movement speed, but you go to a booger, I mean,
and it doesn't
include
tell you
that.
anything about the booger.
Yeah, it says the movement speed, but not the housing space.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'll have to count those, figure that out. Sorry, what were you
So
running
right
there?
now, so right now I've got Heroes, the RC with the haste and the boots and the fox. Queen with the frosty mirror and the giant puppet. The king with the phoenix and the spiky ball and snake bracelet. And my warden with the rage gem and the eternal tome. And so I start off with, and I have nine freeze or nine invis, an overgrowth, and a recall and a skeleton spell. So I usually just start off with the RC charge, nine invis, get like a good chunk, like maybe one corner kind of chunked out, or if I path it right and cover up the right things, I can sometimes get deep into the base and get like the spitter that I want to get, so I'm facing
Yeah.
only one direction instead of the other. I'll recall her. I'll throw down my king, my queen, and then I run two witches and a mini warden with it. So between
Huh.
the witches and the snake bracelet
Oh yeah.
and the mini warden, like that little hero, just king, queen, witches, mini warden, and snakes popping everywhere, and then I've got the giant or whatever. Like that, they usually last until the very end of the attack because they're healing. They're because that giant healer or the healing the giant puppet, the queen heals herself slowly throughout the attack after you use it. So I usually pop that pretty quick, and then she's usually healing most of the time. The king, if he ever does usually die, I mean, he's got his phoenix and he pops right back up and takes some more damage. But that little hero charge from one corner usually does really well.
So it's the
And then,
king, the queen, two witches,
yep, and a mini warden.
and a mini warden.
Yeah, I
Would
forget what it's at.
one witch work, or does it have to be two? Do you think?
I don't know. I could try. Maybe I should try one witch and see if it'd work.
I'm just wondering because I
Um,
could swap out
because
the
I
one for a
feel
miss. I
like
think.
so I watched this the other day and I thought, how cool was that? The two witches veered off from the rest of the pack and kind of went on their own, and they took out a king just by themselves
Really?
because the king couldn't keep up with the skeletons. So like, if it was just one witch, I don't think it would have taken him down. But the two witches combined,
Yeah.
they were pumping out those skeletons and hitting him at the same time. And he just sat there the whole time, just attacking those skeletons while he got taken out. And so
Damn.
I was like, that's kind of trick. That's kind of cool. Um, and then I'm just running an ice golem. So I'll just do that from another corner, the heroes from another corner, and then I'll charge through the middle, usually with the main army, which is an ice golem, five roots, five valks. Then I'll put down two balloons just for um, some kind of test loons. Then my five healers, my warden, and then I'll recall my RC in with them as well. And then I've got for cleanup 5 super barbs, 2 archers, and I have a headhunter in there. Um, that I would probably say over 70% of the time I'm using wrong anyway, but whatever. And then and then a
That's just a
super wall
mystery to
breaker.
me.
Yeah, it's super wall breaker for the king and queen if I need to get it into somewhere. That headhunter thing really, like, I thought I'd kind of figured it out probably for a good chunk of the time when the eternal tome wasn't was working for a long term. Like, I'd push it as the headhunter was running through, and then he'd be invincible, for the rest of the time to go take
Oh,
out a hero. But now with the new warden changes in the last update, he's no good once he runs out of that thing. So I feel like now I'm almost half the time when I send him in, he runs through and I push it, and then I'm like, oh crap, it doesn't even do me any good because he runs right out of it. He's gets killed instantly.
is that like
So I've been saving him till like the very end until I need to take out just like one hero almost.
is that the major change? Is that pretty much the biggest change since with the tome for you, or is there
Yeah, I
anything
felt
else you've
like
had to adapt to?
yeah, no, I don't think it didn't affect me with my ground army and what I've been doing. I think it was probably gonna affect more of the air people with sending in
Oh, just the.
a blimp to the town hall or whatever when
I feel like it's kind of
that
given
Eternal
me a
Tome
little
was
bit
on.
benefit because
Yeah,
like
it's like buffs, right?
what's that?
It almost buffs it because it seems like a buff for ground because it helps out more.
Yeah, and like so that the thing fires off and I'm like the dome, and I see it and I'm like, okay, hit the rage and then they'll meet up and then they'll go into it. Versus instead of capturing them to go off, I can also like fire it off and drive into, like troops meeting up.
Yeah,
Like, oh god, they're not in it yet, but I can hit it, save them, and then they'll be in it in a couple seconds here or something
yeah,
on the one side, which
and
has
then like
saved me around the town hall a bunch of times.
yeah, and they're just I don't know. It seemed like it was a buff. Like I heard a lot of YouTubers say that too. That they were like, this is actually I think a better thing for a lot of armies. It might have hurt the air blimp attack people, but it actually helped a lot of other people out.
So how is CWL? Are you using that attack this CWL then?
So yeah, I've pretty much been using that same attack since I last talked to you. I did explore a little bit with the Warden Fireball Furnace attack that Shock was using, but like I just would have some mixed results with it. I'd do pretty good for a while, and then I'd run into a base where I kind of screwed up. Um, I did like, and he was starting to use this right before I think I quit. How he was using that new spell to kind of like protect
Oh,
his
the ice
warden real
block.
quick. Yeah, he would block his warden and figure out exactly where he wanted his fireball to land, and then he would hit the fire. After it wore off, he'd hit the fireball. But I
Yeah,
just never like fully dove. I don't know. I probably could have spent more time, but I just wasn't attacking a whole lot, so I didn't have the time to invest into that army that I feel like it needed
yeah,
to be totally successful.
yeah.
So I've just been using this root one since, and it's been doing good, and so I haven't changed it. Last CWL when we were down in Masters 2 for after we got reset with the whole CQ to CQ2 thing. My goal was to go perfect on all 3 counts because I'm like, we're in Masters 2. I should be able to go perfect on all 3 counts. I went perfect on one. I think I had 699 out of the other. Like I was 1% off of perfect on that account. And then the other account, I had like a lower 2 star because I screwed up one of the attacks. But like my hit rate's been pretty high um, and been doing good this war. Uh, Out of my 6 attacks so far on the 3 accounts, I've had 5 triples and then a 98%. So it's a good army. I feel like I've got it kind of down and using it well. We won last CWL pretty handedly in Masters 2 with our reset after we got dumped out of CQ and on to CQ2. We were up in Champs 2 in CQ. The whole scandal of scamming happened. We all got
Yeah.
kicked out. So we went to CQ2 where we were just using it as like a mini clan and sending people who didn't really care as much for CWL and weren't warring as hard. And they were kind of just buffering around the Masters 1, Masters 2, bouncing back and forth. And they lost Masters 1 right as we were getting switched. So they were down to Masters 2. But we had like three wars, I think, where we went perfect 45 stars out of 45.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it was pretty cool just to bump down to be able to see those cool results. But then we were like, we don't really belong here. So we should be smoking these guys. If we were in Champs 2 and now we're in Masters 2, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
You were training on
and
a mountaintop with like a
yeah,
kung fu master, and then you got in a bar fight.
yeah, yeah. Went with the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
So we this month we won our first one. Right now we're sitting in our second war. The other team already finished all their attacks. We have 3 attacks left, and we're down by 8 stars. So we need to triple out to win.
Oh, God.
Um,
Probably gonna be
so
me.
it's going to be tight. We do have two out of the 3 guys that are attacking are really good and usually get triples all the time. The other one just subbed in this war, so we'll see if he can pull it off and hopefully get us a triple so we can win. Because we'd like to just bump right back up into champs instead of staying in
You want to
masters,
go
but we'll
home?
see.
You
Still a
want to go
long
home?
season. Yeah, ET. We're trying to get back there.
Miss the mountaintop. Uh,
Yeah,
well, it's kind of
miss the
fun.
medals. Like the amount of medals is just
Really?
it's crazy, crazy difference. Uh, just how many you get for a win, or first place. Even like fifth place in champs is still a lot more than
Oh, I didn't even
you
think
get in
about that.
first place. Yeah, because each tier you go up, you just get way more medals.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of cool in one way too. I mean, no, like none of it's cool. But if you had to do it, it was cool because we did try to spin at the same time.
Yeah, we tried to match up.
And we were seriously, when you sent that message, it was like 30 seconds later
That you spun.
and I spun. I think I finished typing one thing, clicked over and, or flipped back to your message. But what we did match with the English henchman,
Okay.
which is, Bomb's, uh, clan, or he's, in that clan. And we had just matched them this week. Uh,
Oh, so you'd played against him already?
Yeah, we had just played them. I got even
That's funny.
and we won them just a few days ago, but of course that's just a regular war. Bombs
Yeah.
wasn't in it. And I think this was the second time it
Oh,
happened actually where we matched, but Bombs wasn't in. And so it's like, oh damn, I'm not in it again. And then 3 days later, boom, we're in. Or 2 wars later,
is
we're
he
basically.
in this CWL?
Yep,
Has he been?
yep.
That'll
Uh,
be cool.
I I haven't dialed into this war too much since last night to see um who's done what, but Swim boy went up against Bomb's base and did a 1 star, so he had a really good
Oh
defense.
no!
Yeah, Swim felt bad.
Was it an
Um,
invis?
I did not even. Yeah, nope, it's a poison, a ring base.
Okay, ring and
I have to
no
hit
poison.
probably a invis base, and um, they kind of scare me, but sometimes I do all right because those furnaces just keep pounding. So I'll see.
Yeah, your furnace army kind of negates that those invis bases because Swim's using a similar army to me can be tricky with our armies because if you set it off early and then don't get that tower like with your RC charge, if you just
Yeah.
set it off but you don't get that tower, it resets usually again and will set off towards the end of the attack if you don't go, right into it. So it's like you almost don't want to go hit it with your RC because it doesn't help you at all.
Yeah.
I've learned from Itsu to just take to if I see the invis tower right at the beginning, like if I'm doing my legends hits, save one invis and put down your skeleton spells or one skeleton spell, sorry, right next to that in the invis tower, and then invis them so that they set it off whenever you want it to, instead of
Oh,
it setting off right as your army gets there, and then they go around and get hurt or whatever. By that all those defenses that are invisible. So you can set it off with the skeleton spell if you know how to use it right, and then that kind of saves you from having to try to set it off with your main army.
I think I've had some good luck now that I'm thinking about it in the past couple days, like in the wild, where I just pathed right over it. And so when it went
Mm-hmm.
in Viz, like with the roots,
Yeah.
and I think this might have happened accidentally, but they just path right over it,
Right over the
and
top.
once it pops back on because there's like a lot of space. Now that we're talking about it, I think that's where I've been fortunate with it is like because they're usually going to the next thing, and bomb, it's off, and then they're all just like they go nuts. Um,
Yeah.
and I've been really trying to save my hero abilities a little bit later too. Um, I'm just looking at it. I'm looking at this base right now, and I'm like, yeah, I can see how that's gonna. Okay, so it's really cool though to be up against them again, and build some community. And we were actually trying to do some matching for something I was going to talk to you about. Do like a Kryptonian priest CWL like week where
Mm.
we kind of set it up where we have like clans that if you want to match, like because we were trying to set it up this month. I started getting it going uh in process, but a little bit late. We set up one, um, but I thought, well, if one person wants to do it to match L, maybe they want to match the next person who wants to match L the next day. You know what I mean? Like just
Mm-hmm.
do like a little mini tournament that week. So I'm going to try to set that up for September and just try to have like a friendly war all week. And so we faced off. This week we did have one friendly war. Uh, it was so busy. From with House Gnosis, from Cross X Roads. Um, and so it was fun to kind of kick that off. I know we've done it before, um, but it'd just be nice to have like make it easy to like, hey, it's pre CWL week. We always match up against these people.
Yeah. Get
This
some
is
practice in.
yeah, like we just know that the week before, we have a match every night. The friendly war starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. You have 16 hours to go over, get your hits done, and
Mm-hmm.
um,
Are you doing two hits?
yeah, that's what we did this last time. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
just the start of it. So maybe we just do one hit or
Yeah, I
um.
mean, if you're practicing for CWL,
Oh
I would think
yeah,
that would be, and then you're also like that cuts down on your time, so it's maybe easier for people that are crunched
that's a
on
great
time,
idea.
where you just do one hit because that's kind of the thing with CWL, right? Like you don't have the extra times to hit that base or
Yeah,
the extra practice. Like it's all on the line for that one hit. You have to make sure you're locked in to
I
where if you get two, then you can kind of be, a little lackadaisical or maybe not pay attention as much and kind of screw around with your attack and practice something that you want to. And
I
that's
kind
what friendlies are for anyway.
I kind of missed the most obvious thing, didn't I? In setting up that.
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, it's whatever you want it to be, but if
no,
that's
that's
what
a
you're
great
doing, if you're
idea.
trying to get ready for CWL,
That's actually
I
that's
just
what it
think
should
of
be.
time now. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
think of
for sure.
time now with how scrunched I've been for time this summer, and then coming into a new school year, I think time will be
Yeah.
scrunched a lot anyway. So
And
just
that's why I
like,
think like setting up those things that are just have it more automatic, or
mhm,
like, hey,
like for sure.
yeah, we got these group of clans that want to do this every month. And, Crossroads, House Gnosis set it up and we wanted, and it was their first time doing that. And I remember we just did it first time a few months ago, going through it for me, like into Worlds or whatever, was like just getting through it the first time is like, oh, okay. And then it's like, you're on it. But what we ran into this week was thinking about, well, what does that mean for a face off, right? And I'm kind of I was working on the directions and I was thinking, well, why don't we just match the lowest clan? Whatever numbers, we'll just match the lowest numbers. And then as the week went on, I thought, well, are we going to be, is it going to be 15? Is this going to be like an ore war? Will
Yeah,
people were just not around. And it seemed like he had problems. And I think he had some people that said they were going to be there and then didn't show up, or I don't know what. Just like it was on both sides. Like as we were kind of figuring out the wars, we were like, well, how many do we have? And so Tip actually went over and warred on their side,
mm,
so that way we could face off, so we could have more people in the war. So it's like in fun and in a friendly spirit, not like we're gonna destroy you or anything like that. Um,
yeah.
so we kind of went through that, but it almost seems like, given the busyness, it would almost make sense just to start at 5 or less, um, unless you have more.
Yeah,
That
I think that's the hard thing is finding like 5 isn't terrible. It's kind of harder to find 10, 15, people that are actually willing to go switch clans and wait to spin and then switch back and forth to go make their hits. And some people
yeah
just aren't as active. Some people are just on every day to hit their 2 war hits in and, like a couple regular attacks and then they're off for the day.
yeah, and I got the sense after this that like it's pretty typical between clans. Like I wasn't sure what we were gonna get. He wasn't sure what they were gonna get, and even just in the starting of it, I just assumed we would be doing 15 because it was pre CWO, but it really, and like 2v2 now we can do, or 3v3.
I heard you guys talk about that on the podcast. We haven't played around with anything like that.
That'd be kind of fun.
That
That'd be
sounds
a
kind
lot
of fun.
easier to do, like evening friendly wars or something.
Hmm.
They really
Yeah,
just
it's
need to
cool that
build
the
it within the
game's
clan
giving
though.
you options for that and letting you try things like that. Like, in the past we didn't even have friendly wars and now you're given the option to do as little of a 2v2 friendly war.
Yeah. What kind of occurred to me then, that day even, like, well, there's really nothing holding us back. If there's two of us here talking about it,
Hmm.
you and a co-leader, or you and your, whoever, and I mean, and this person, like, we'll just roll like with that. So I started talking to some people for next month. Kat from the Pineapples and Thorns, and try to see who we can get to just try it out. And I was gonna call it like the Kryptonian, I think, pre CWL league or something like that. So
That'd be cool.
I'll put out some information just so we could have provide that practice that I
Yeah.
really would look for. And I know we talk about it all the time, right? And if it was just easy to do it,
Yeah.
makes a good case again for them to just, why not just enable friendly wars within a clan when you're in a war?
While you're in war.
I mean, makes
It's got to be something with the coding, but you think they'd be able to work their way around it if they
yeah,
really wanted to.
because that would make things like 10 times easier. Friendly
Yeah, if you didn't
wars,
have
you
to
could just,
swap clans every
yeah, and you could
time
even
and
schedule it within the clan, or like a
yeah.
pin. Do it as a pin, friendly war pin.
Hmm.
Um, Friendly War
Yeah, friendly
friendly.
war in 30 minutes or whatever, you know.
Yeah. So it was kind of it was fun. They won. I missed my attacks because I started it up. I got things rolling and I was working on CWL stuff and the bases
Oh,
came
geez.
in and so I was trying to transfer them over
Get
to
all that done.
Google Docs and
Yeah.
so it was like 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I fell asleep and I woke up in the morning. I was watching the Today Show and I fell back asleep and then I had the dreaded Discord message. It says
Yeah.
like, "Where's our fearless leader?" or something to that effect, and I just like panicked. Like, and I thought because there's all these things moving around at this point, I'm like,
Yeah.
which war? What? Like, what? It's like
Which
those
clan was I supposed
nightmares.
to be in?
Yeah,
I don't
nightmares
even
where you're late
remember.
for class or something, and you're like
Yeah.
running behind. So, um, but it was great, and thanks to those guys, or thanks to House for setting it up. And it'll be fun to see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Maybe we can try to get in on that next month and
yeah,
see
for
if
sure, for
we
sure. We'll
have
just
a couple guys to do it. I know we could probably scrounge five. Heck, I have three of them on my own. So,
yeah. I was actually gonna talk to you guys about it, and we started setting it. I went out of town, and that's why there's no episode last week. Um,
oh yeah,
and so I was out of town, but I thought I would be back a day earlier, and so I was like, well, let's just get this one with house set up, and then I'll know because we hadn't nailed down the exact time, and then I'll
yeah,
talk to Tyler and then it was CWL week, and it was like, or just getting it fired up. And I'm like, you know what, we'll get this figured out. It sounds like he's busy too, and um, but yeah, that'll be awesome. We can have our monthly challenge face off for like some goodie or something.
yeah. It'd
Uh,
be cool. Even just like I said for the CWL practice, the one hit, try some new bases out, or try
yeah,
hit
and
some,
that makes
some
so much
attacks
more
out or
sense in
whatever.
time wise. You know, like just go over and hit once, and
Hmm. And come back.
yeah.
It's
Uh,
yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
how is your CWL looking overall? Like, you feel good about is in the standing so far? I'm gonna look where
Yeah, we
we're at.
were after that first war. I think we were in third. Uh, Top kind of 40, 39, and then we were at 38 because we had uh we were talking about it before the pod, I think, but Charlie went in to go hit a base 10, and when he hit attack it bumped him down to base
Oh
12,
yeah, yeah,
so he hit a base that was already attacked, so basically we had a blank, so
yeah.
probably should have had 40 stars as well, or maybe even 41. Charlie's a good attacker, so
It'll
he
probably
could have
happen
gone
to
three.
somebody else on their team,
Yeah.
before the end of it.
Yeah, I'm sure it will in the end, but
When we
the
started out,
I tried out some of the bases that you shared with me on two of the accounts that I had, and they both held up, so that was
did
good.
they?
Yeah.
Okay, because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. Like, so we started to do a King of the Hill last Saturday, and we were just like, let's see who and Warpig kind of started going with it. And we showed up, and everybody was just threeing each other's bases. You know, and I think, and so it was
Yeah.
like, well, this is kind of a problem. But when this
You're like, I
started,
want my money back.
yeah, and this was, I guess, this was with our old bases. Um, but when CWL started, we had our new bases in, and this first clan we went up against, we lost by two, but you don't know, like, is it the base or is it
Yeah,
just they're really good? And I think they're really pretty good. That was
good
Columbia
attackers.
with 4 exclamation points. Um, it looks like we're in a pretty uh, even, uh, tight CWL. And, you lose that first one, and then you think, oh God, um, we're not going to do it. But
Go into panic
last,
mode.
what's that?
You kind of go into panic mode because you're not sure
Yeah, you can
if
get
the rest of the
discouraged a little bit,
yeah,
right? But
yeah,
if I look at all of the CWLs in the last 9 months, I don't think there's been one where it's been straight. Maybe there's been one straight win for the top team, but it seems
Yeah,
like
because usually somebody has a bad war and somebody else, somebody will beat them that's maybe mid pack,
yeah, and like
beat the top team.
last CWL it was like we looked good, and then all of a sudden we got far behind, and then the team that was in third all of a sudden jumps up, and then we were waiting on on the result. So like I think the top team had two wins or two losses even, and we were waiting. I believe, and it's I'd have to think a little bit harder about it. We were kind of waiting on the final results of the war to know who was in third and second
Yeah.
and fourth place. So it's really like a long game.
Hmm.
And sometimes I think if you win one or two, then you get cocky and then you take some risks later on that you might not
Yeah.
have. So just kind of keep going. This one's looking really tight with against English henchmen, and it's fun that way. And I think we're going to start this next month. We're rotating out the CWL, and I think this next month we're going to start the kind of a little bit more performance. Like we're leaders are kind of talking about it, but like similar to what you guys are doing, but with a little bit of discretion. Like here's just the general um, guidelines. So to account for like seniority sometimes or whatnot, or
Yeah, and we
in
always did that too.
main
Like
accounts
if you
or
were top 16, it didn't mean you were always going to be for sure in CWL. It was like,
yeah.
sometimes it's like, that guy just had a bad month. Maybe he didn't always attack or whatever, missed an attack. But he's a solid attacker, so he'll still be in the lineup, kind of thing.
Yeah, and you really kind of like I think what Drew said, the other, like you guys do it, no feelings. That's what he says. He's like,
Yeah.
it's just the numbers, no feelings, so we don't get that involved. And I think as we're getting into, we've got a lot of 17s and we've got people um, uh, with multiple accounts, but like not that we have enough places to CWL between L and L2, but you start to go, well, you don't want people to feel left off because they are in L2, but it's just where the numbers are. And so you
Hmm.
kind of want to even it out. So like, um, somebody thinks like, I'm a newer 17 or I'm coming. I don't want to be closed out by seniority necessarily or get overwritten by a better player that just comes in, you know, brand new and what I'm saying. So like, so now it almost seems to be like as we're getting to that place where you almost have to just do a little bit mostly by numbers, maybe.
Yeah.
So that
And that's
way,
why,
because I don't want to. Most of the stuff is not political or anything. Like none of it's
yeah.
political. You're just like trying to figure out where people are best and like wanting main accounts and to have a place and kind of balancing the team and the win. It is getting easier because L2 is in Masters 3 right now, and we're starting
Okay.
one. So I mean, it's not that we're about the same quality of wars. It's just like
Yeah.
it's the perception thing of it to me. But so so I'm just trying to safeguard against things like politics in the future, questions and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's the hard thing. Like, you can't ever make everybody happy. Uh, it was funny when, not funny, I guess, but when we got kicked out of CQ and went over to CQ2, um, some of the guys that had been over there for a while doing CWLs, like they just kind of became the group because they're
oh
lower end
yeah.
attackers. They're not higher end attackers. They're like, "Hey, this is the clan for rejects. You guys get out of here."
Uh,
And it was like, touche, touche. They're like, "This is our clan. Go find somewhere else to CWL." And I think Tip told us, like, if you don't want to go down to Masters 2, like, you can create your own clan and just do CWL in a clan and it'll reset you at Masters 1 right off the bat. And we were like,
It would?
We don't want to deal. That's what Tip was saying. We didn't try it out. Um, but yeah, if you want to start your own clan, he said that it sets you off at Masters one. Um, so we were like, do we do that and just start fresh? But then it's like the rewards of loot, the because you would just have a level one clan, the donation stuff.
Yeah.
It just becomes more of a nuisance than it is worth just the little amount of medals. And we were like, we're going to advance after just 1 month really fast anyway. So um, we just stuck it out and stayed in Masters 2 for that 1 month. And it actually kind of became a problem because in the transition, we lost some people. I mean, some people didn't even know what happened because they're not on Discord.
Oh.
They just got booted, you know? So they just got a
Got
message that said,
pissed
"Hey,
and said,
you got kicked out of the clan," and they didn't think to come to CQ2. I
who
didn't
knows
have
what the guy
everybody.
said to him? You know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I mean, I didn't have everybody on the friends list, so I couldn't invite them all. Um,
Oh.
they made the clan private, so you
In the
can't even look up any
warlog.
past stats from the warlog of like, because I could have went if it was still public. You could have just hopped over into Clash Ninja and looked up, some things from Clash Ninja past wars, and I could have snagged their IDs and invited them via ID. So I mean, we
Do you
lost
check
probably a handful of guys.
Clash stats?
I haven't.
Because I could see a lot on that.
You can still see a lot on that. Yeah, it
That's
was
how I was
just. I
tracking
mean,
that guy back to.
oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I'll have to look at that. It was just all kind of discouraging because we were like, man, we lost some people. We probably hurt
Yeah.
some feelings, but we didn't even know that we hurt feelings. They didn't check to try to come to CQ2 or follow. They couldn't follow us because they didn't know where we went. Um, and so that last month, we were sitting at like probably 27 people that were active, and probably three or four towards those 27 at the bottom aren't super active. So we tried to tell them all to go to the clan we were using for tournament wars, Lascar, and only about a handful of them actually left. And we spun CWL, and they never got to spin CWL. So we had a handful of people that just missed out on medals last month, and we're pretty pissed off about it. But
Oh.
we we figured it all out for this month. M actually started her own clan because she's so low and was having a hard time matching with all the Town Hall 17s. Since her accounts got hacked, she just started a new one. So she started her own little mini clan and has. That's where we sent our guys this month, and they were able to do a mini CWL over there. That's why I was asking you almost last minute because we weren't sure if they were going to be able to pull off the numbers. If you guys had a mini clan you were running CWN that we could hop over onto.
Yeah, when I
Uh,
saw that I was just in the planning thing and I was like, I think, we could make that work because we split to L2, we're doing a 15 over there and a 15 in L Warborn. Just so we have a place, for the lower town halls in El Warborn. They'll start leveling that up. The 17s, 16s, and 15s were in L2, and they were. Um, and so when I was looking at it, I was trying to figure out, what's it going to be? Masters 3, right over there. Yeah, that's the lowest one, right? Masters.
yeah.
Um, if what's the town hall matchup? But I was like, so I'm going to rotate out 15s and 16s. So like the lowest 15 will go out. That next one will come in over there. Same with the 14s or no, the 16s and then
Are you
17s.
running all three CWLs like yourself?
War Pigs over and Warborn doing that one. So I'm
But
between
you're running
L.
two of them?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot
Well,
of
I
work,
mean,
man.
mostly it's just like setting the buzzer in the one, but yeah, kind of popping back and forth. Um,
Yeah,
it's been busy for sure.
still a lot of work.
Yeah, and
I was running CQ and CQ2 for a while, and I would put one of my accounts in CQ2 just so that I could do it. Um, but they were struggling so much to get out of masters, and I was getting so frustrated with people missing attacks or hitting the same base on accident or
Y-
getting one stars all the time that I was just like, you know what? Somebody else is going to be in charge of CQ2, and I'm taking all three of my accounts into the main because I can't do this anymore. It's
Yeah.
frustrating me too bad.
Well, well, and L2 is really not. It's mostly minis
Okay.
and some single accounts, and it's just like the reality. What we probably like, is to make it more war friendly for those lower
Hmm.
town halls if people want to do that because there's just a reality of like a war match, and being able to to face off and the other people to not get killed. So, but just with numbers, it's like it doesn't really support that. So it's mostly like Sasquatch is over there, and there's some wars over there right now, but just kind of more casual, I guess.
Yeah,
Not like a, it's yeah, not like
not
a
super competitive.
yeah. Um, and like I said, a lot of minis over, so it looks bigger than it is. And then El Warburn we're using for just um competition. So
How many minis do you guys have in your main clan? Like just
um
around.
not well, let's see here. And that's try to move them over to L2 like
So they're just
with
permanently at L2.
a lot of people will they'll go back and forth as we
Okay.
need room, right? So like if I was going to look at like how many you want to like outside of main accounts, how many are second accounts?
Yeah, just like how many people are running second accounts that are actually I
One,
should preface
two.
this. They're actually more active now or still active. We had quite a
Three.
few of our guys dip out of their second accounts when the donation thing became a lot easier
Like, oh yeah,
because
I think there's
because now
only
you don't have to wait for donate, like people can instantly donate without the one gem thing. Like a lot of people had mini accounts or second accounts so they could
to
donate
donate.
themselves. But now the donation's so easy, you can instantly do it. So many,
Yeah,
troops, or you can even donate to yourself. Like I feel like we lost a lot of those minis being as active. Like I noticed they aren't doing their clan capital hits.
yeah,
They're like almost kind of useless. They're just taking up space. So we kind of said, hey, if you don't do your clan capital hits, you're gonna get kicked, to M's clan or something. So you can just be a mini and sit over there instead of taking up space where we could possibly try to get some more 17s.
that's kind of the. It's that's yeah. Right now, it looks like there's 5 second accounts, 4 or 5. A lot of
Hmm.
those during the regular CWL or regular month, people will bring their second account over if we're not full. But some people also have it like right now, like one account that's like they brought one of their accounts kind of thing, and the other one's in a different
Hmm.
place. That's that's the hard thing is like people want to keep accounts together, but you also want to grow
Yeah.
because it's really about overlapping people, like and being able to donate and things like that. So yeah, I feel like if we can just keep growing L with like main accounts and move the second accounts over as we need room, uh, then it meets all the stuff for the second accounts over there, right? You pop
Hmm.
in, you pop like you have donations in both places. It's just kind of that critical mass, I think, which this update kind of the no wait update kind of threw things off, like rhythms. I think
Yeah.
between because you could go over there and people were checking in and requesting throughout the day and stuff, and now it's like more times. And my mini's over there, but I'm not really doing much with it. Just kind of leveling up my heroes. Um, do you have like a in your clan like a mandatory amount of wars like per
No,
month or like
no. But
participation?
are you talking like for stats and stuff, or just to
Well, let's say
participate?
like yeah, like do you have a if you have to participate in 50% of the wars to be in CWL?
No. Um. So that's why I remember I told you about it a long time ago, but maybe kind of forgotten. I can just run it past you again to let everybody else know too, in case somebody else is going through the same thing. But when we had over 30 town hall 17s when at a good point, and so that's why we started running two CWLs instead of just one. And we started doing the stats thing to see who gets to stay in the main clan and who made the main lineup basically and who made the mini lineup.
Yeah.
So we would do 17 in main and the rest all went to mini CWL in CQ2. But so we did it not just off of hit rate percentages, but we did it off of a bunch of different stats that you can gather from bots on Discord. And then I was actually keeping some stats myself just on that spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Um,
That you
so you
said.
had your hit rate, but and that's I remember Warpig mentioning this a couple weeks ago. Um, I remember him saying like he could just dip down and hit for a higher hit rate and get more
Yeah.
stars if that's what you wanted to do to try to improve your rank on that. But that's why we also started to try to put in other things too. Um, so we did your map rank was also part of it.
Okay.
Um, so where you were at on the map accounted into for this your triple rate, the total amount of stars that you got. So that kind of negates the thing of whether you'd have um, if you had enough wars or not. Because
Oh,
let's say you only participated in 5 wars and you have a super high hit rate and you're high up on that rank, but when you switch to the tab that gives you stats for the total amount of stars that you have, that person only has 30 stars compared to everybody else that has 70 to 80 stars. Their rank for the stars rank is way down.
yeah.
So you have your map, your triple rate rank, your total star rank. Um, then there's also a bot that does your average stars, how many average stars you got on an attack, and it breaks it down to the decimal. And I would rank that in order as well. And then we did a thing of your last month's CWL rank, like how you did hit wise in CWL. Um, your
Does and if you got a new member, that would
They
be
wouldn't.
zero.
Yeah, they'd have to basically. I I think I took it always down to the bottom if they were new because we didn't know for sure how they would do, and
Yeah.
we would just tell them, "Hey, show us what you got this month in mini CWL, and then if you can compete and do good in mini CWL, and we know you're going to be part of the team, kind of thing, and you're actually going to stick around instead of just bailing. Like, show us what you got for 1 month, and then come back and if you make the main lineup the next month, then you can make the main lineup."
It's really kind of come full circle uh since we started talking because this is what we were talking about I think the first time, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
And
remember coming
really
on and talking and breaking that down for you.
and as we kind of went through this last year, there were a lot of cases where just didn't kind of work for us, right? Like I was a
Mhm.
16 and a 15, and or all these
Yeah,
different things. Um and like having gone through the experience of like worlds and just seeing like what statistics mean and that kind of stuff, right? Like kind of experiencing um this stuff now it makes more sense to me in
yeah,
terms of not, I mean like why you would do X, Y, or Z and factor this in too,
yeah, and
right?
not just
Like,
one stat.
Yeah, like yeah, just not this, and maybe why? Because we were talking about this, uh, just briefly, just kind of touched on. We kind of came back to what we had talked about because I think this is the first CWL where it was really like I worried about people feeling different about being on rosters, I guess. And so
Yeah.
like I just kind of want to say like for like next CWL, here's just the basic guidelines so everybody knows, kind of I didn't look at the statistics for this month really because I think we were kind of there's some people out and stuff and uh mostly didn't really matter. I know where we're at, who's who and everything. But as we get now that we have like, if we're doing 215s of, in both clans, like we could fine tune it a little bit better and kind of get people where
Yeah.
they
And I think
need to
that's
be.
where like those stats came in to help is like sometimes it was hard to decide if you're just looking at one stat, like, the triple
Yeah.
rate, and you're like, ah, it's between these two people and they have really close triple rates. But then if you dig into their total stars, their average stars, their map rank, and their CWL from the past month to see how like, then you can kind of really say, oh, now for sure I know that this person won four out of those five categories. They
Yeah.
definitely deserve to be in the main lineup instead.
Well, and I want to prove myself too, right? Like I want
Yeah.
to like have something to strive for throughout the month of like, and I'm not free from anything. And like I said, we're not like we'll talk about it in L when anything is done. But just kind of general guidelines. We're kind of thinking about that. So, but just to say like to strive, to go like, all right, I need to really dial into this war hit just to make it count a little bit more because um,
Hmm.
I just do better when I'm pushing myself a little bit or uh, just makes things more fun, I guess, for me.
Yeah. I think if
Like
everybody's,
sweat
trying
getting
to
on the
do their
list.
best, everybody's trying to do their best, it overall does the clan better too, not just that one person. So if you're pushing those stats, and I've got terrible after our switch, I've just been busy and haven't cared as much to do it. We didn't even do a spreadsheet last month. I was just like, whatever, just go off the
How
triple
dare
rate.
you?
It and it worked. I mean, it's it's been fluctuating and it's worked out, but we've kind of known this is the lineup kind of thing. And some guys got busy and said that we can't do CWL this month, so we just left them on the main clan and then just left them on bench. So they get some bench rewards instead of kicking them out
Yeah.
to the mini clan. They're like, I'm busy this month. Or I'm out of town or something. I can't do my attacks. Instead of punishing them and not putting them in or whatever. We just let them sit on the bench and get some points.
Well, I had a pin message up where I have people react to say, uh, if you're in for CWL, thumbs
Hmm.
up this message. And I lost it. And so I was kind of scrambling at that point, and I'm always worried about that because in the past, in I've said I've just split it up. So, thinking everybody's going to go over and people don't go over and then they don't get spun in. And then I also don't
Yep.
want to spin them in if they're late to the party, and we're not
Yep.
spun in at the other place. So that's
It's a nightmare trying to navigate that. Like I don't think a lot of people understand that.
yeah. I did put
Like
up
how
one.
hard it is to make sure like you gotta babysit sometimes, be like, hey, you gotta move or else you're not gonna get any rewards.
Yeah,
And finally I got to the point where it's like, okay, if you don't move by this time, you're not getting included in either clan's CWL. So it's on you because you didn't leave. And I
yeah.
would just put up the roster, 2 days in advance. That way, and I'd pin it and send it as clan mail. So there was two different ways you could see it. And if you didn't move, then it's on you, because you didn't do that over 2 day period.
I did realize one way around it at the end this time is just to put up a message that says, if you don't plan on moving and want bench medals, thumbs up this message.
Oh, there you go.
That
And they
will,
react.
not this time. I put it up late.
next
I think I put it up
next
about
time.
16 hours beforehand, and I don't know why,
Yeah.
but it's always that pre CWL week or 2 weeks I think beforehand where the clan seems the most busy. Um,
Start of
and
the
it's
month.
summer too. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people are vacationing, and
Yeah.
um,
It's crazy to think people have lives outside of Clash of Clans, right?
right. I know their village is waiting. So,
I definitely leave those upgrades sitting around.
well, what do you think about this season? Maybe before we wrap
Yeah.
up here.
Um I they said it was gonna be the greatest or biggest season. I thought I remember seeing something about that. So like expectation
Did you
wise,
watch
I have pretty
the
high
builder
expectations.
inside the builder
I just kind
video?
of listened to it as background noise while I was working this summer at the warehouse, and then I heard you talking about it a little bit on the pod. So I did have some information kind of going in.
It
Uh,
did sound like it was going to be the greatest thing ever made.
yeah, I think they blow stuff up like that sometimes, and then it kind of backfires on them. Do you think they'd learn to maybe just tone it down a little bit?
Unless there's
But
something coming.
yeah. Well, and I would expect, like, I'm like, don't we have one more update before the next town hall? Is that gonna be, like, next month? Because they said Town Hall 18 is gonna come out in November.
Did they?
So, I think that's yeah,
Or like early
I think
December, late
I
November,
saw that.
December.
Probably late November. I'm guessing right after Worlds. I don't know when Worlds is. Worlds Clash of Clans
Yeah. Again, this could be a little bit better.
2025.
I'd like a little bit better communication.
October 31st to November 2nd. So I would bet you that Town Hall 18 hits mid-November,
That's the
or,
big update is well, because they'll do Hammer Jam. Last year
they'll
came
do
out like
Hammer Jam,
first
right?
week of December,
Yeah,
didn't it?
but they're yeah, but now it's not always that 1 year thing anymore. It's
Oh,
just whenever they're ready, and it seems like it's always right after Worlds. And
oh,
this year, Worlds is in or early November. It seems like because they always want to make sure that the Worlds tournament happens and nobody's like starting a new town hall.
yeah.
The Worlds happens, then they probably give themselves a week off or whatever, and then they got a new update coming because they teased the new town hall at the Worlds competition and everything there too.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm guessing like our next our last update of Town Hall 17 would probably come in September. It doesn't seem like anything's on this map month for August, but I guess we'll find out. I wouldn't think they put anything out in October since that's the end of October is when Worlds hits, so they probably need to give people time to be able to update their bases and all that. Um, but it looks like I've just got the picture pulled up here. You got your season challenges throughout the whole month, the everything boot camp, which I don't probably good for you with you're doing a lot of your upgrades.
I'm almost done.
Uh,
I'm
Have you,
very, very, very,
yeah,
very
like
close.
as a max player, that was garbage. It didn't do me any good. Like it doesn't even because it doesn't help with walls.
Yeah, that's
So
kind of where I'm at. I mean, I honestly
it's like,
I have to
okay, cool, I
supercharge
get,
my bomb towers,
yeah,
elixirs, collectors, my collectors, and just finish off my storages,
yeah.
and then I'm
So
maxed.
like those little updates or those little things don't affect everybody, as cool as they'd like.
D-
Another controllable heroes
my
that would be
second
cool. That's
account
gonna be cool.
is it's great for like lower town
Thriving in this,
halls.
yeah,
Yeah, there's just loot everywhere.
and
Like,
I'm sure that's probably who they're targeting, right? They don't care about the people that are max. They're probably trying to help those people that are
yeah, like
getting back up or just starting the game to catch up so quickly.
because like Junior can go in and I can go in there and just like Sass said, like I can just go farm, get my thing
Hmm.
started. Um, it does feel like I don't need to be as engaged as I would have to be
as
before.
you used to. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, okay, I don't have to check back in and checking in. I'm not crossing clanmates. I
yeah.
mean, just, but
It's become a lot easier than what we had to use to build up what we're
yeah,
at
yeah,
Town
for
Hall
sure.
8, for 10 years or 12 years worth of your time.
I am, yeah, I am at Town Hall 9 and I did
Yeah,
that very, very quickly
and it
compared
took you
to,
9 years before
I
to
know.
get there, and you're already there.
I know. I think there's something is going to happen because
6
you,
months.
I remember in the past, I never thought like I was very close to being done. And now
Mhm.
you're like maxed. And now that I have hit this point, I just I feel like there's something's going to happen because I just can't even imagine that would do that. But
Yeah, that's what I said. I think that next there's gotta be another update coming.
people said I
Um,
would never amount to anything. No, now I'm a max
and
town
I
hall
have a
17.
max Town Hall 17. My life is complete.
I finally followed through on something.
Took me how many years, but I'm
Yeah,
here.
yeah, exactly. It's like the
I
longest
told you, Mom, I
story
could
of
do it.
Clash. It's
I told you that video game would be worth it.
because it's the 13th Clashiversary,
Yeah,
and I started playing like 3 weeks after
after
it
it came
started.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the road less taken and all that, I guess. Uh, we get a new equipment this month
Yeah.
for the warden. Did Judo didn't say it in his video. I haven't seen anything, but I
I haven't seen anything, but I think it's been out for months and months that it's gonna be that
torch.
torch thing, right? Which will be
Yeah,
interesting. I have been maxed on purple and blue ore for the past month.
really.
So that yeah, so that and I didn't even buy the last ore pass.
So you're gonna
Um,
be able to just
yeah, I'll just have it, and I have, like, over 600 starry, so I'll be able to max it out right away, which would be cool.
nice, nice.
Um,
Uh,
so it'll be interesting to see how strong that is and how it changes the meta or the game. It seems like it could be a really strong equipment, but it seems like they've gotten a little better at buffing it out before they actually release things.
yeah, I haven't
'Cause I
looked at
think
the stats or
sometimes when they
anything.
show yeah, sometimes they show those, like, initial videos when they first come out, like, somebody always leaks it, and it's like, "Oh my gosh, that
Everybody
equipment's gonna
hates it right
break the
away.
game."
Yeah,
Yeah, but then they test it out for the next month, and they let, developers and these content creators try it out, and they kind of figure out where it's too strong or where it needs to be buffed or, what needs to be adapted, and kinda like the Epic equipment for the minion print seemed like a kind of a flop. It was supposed to be I mean, it's supposed to be an epic, right? It's supposed to be the
yeah.
best equipment for the minion prints, and it just
Well, it
doesn't
looks
seem
like
like it's
W Warpig's rocking it. Shock was doing some videos with it
yeah.
that I saw about using the furnace to ramp up the damage on it
Mhm.
because they or something about the fire mites count towards the damage. I haven't
Huh.
experimented. It's mine's at like a level 14 right now. Just because I've
Yeah,
been
it seems like it would work really well for air armies. It's not gonna
yeah.
help ground armies that much, if at all. So it's just like a
Watch, I'll
niche
try
kinda
it out
thing.
and go, oh my god, it's the best. What have I been doing?
Yeah. It just seems like to me the word epic equipment means that literally everybody would wanna be running it, like an Eternal Tome kinda thing, you know?
Yeah.
Even though the Eternal Tome's not an epic equipment, I guess. But,
Well,
like, if you look at what you're running on your king and queen, like, I'm running double epics on my king, double epics on the queen, uh,
yeah.
an epic on the RC, if not maybe 2. Some people are running double on that, so
I think it'll be interesting to see just putting in like a a new piece of equipment for the warden is going to shake things up just by
Hmm.
itself. Because then you have to
Yeah.
decide between something else. Attacks will shift a little bit probably. Um, there was a splash event, but I didn't see um, anything about that yet.
Splash event. Oh, Splash Bash. Yeah, I see that
Slash,
down at the bottom of the
which
account.
I saw or I heard Judo say, and I was like, Swim is gonna love that.
Did
Hopefully, it
you
gets something good.
are you looking at the picture right now?
Of what the
The season calendar thing?
no, just in my head.
Okay. So if you do pull it up, because I got it pulled up right now, it shows little pictures on these poster boards of troops. So on the very top row, at the very end, there's the little goblins holding up the things, but at the very end, there's a poster board with those three troops that are on our army camps right now: the Party Wizard, the Ice Wizard, and the Broom Witch. Next row down has more troops. So it has the Broom Witch, the uh, Ice Wizard, the P.E.K.K.A. troop from last year. I can't remember what it was called. Um, it looks like a Ram Rider kind of, or no, there's a Ram Battle Ram, the
Finally.
Barbarian Battle Ram game. And then I don't know what this guy is. Maybe a Super Barb, or maybe it's that kicker guy.
Oh, here it is. Is this on the Clashiverama one?
Yeah,
Let me see.
Clashiverama season.
Are you okay? Oh, I see. Oh,
So I'm guessing after, so right after CWL, we'll get 5 troops to play around with on offense.
okay. So I wonder if
So
it's
be
so
able to
that
train.
first one up, that first thing on the top is what's on the army camps now.
Yeah.
Then oh,
I'm
they're gonna.
guessing the next row will be offensively, we'll be able to train those troops now after CWL.
Oh, okay. A log
Last row
battle ram.
don't,
Okay.
yeah. The last row though is interesting. It's got the ghost. What's that guy called?
Um.
He was like a
Oh, the
Halloween
royal
event
ghost,
guy. The Royal Ghost,
the mini
the
P.E.K.K.A.
Cookie Pekka, the Cookie Pekka,
Oh,
and
cookie.
then
You know
I
what?
don't know what that girl is. What's that girl down at the bottom there?
She looks like a samurai.
I and there's 3 of them, so I'm wondering maybe do those replace the defensive troops?
Here's what I think. Okay. So you were thinking we could train them, right?
Yeah, the middle row I think we'll be able to train offensively
So
because there's 5 of them.
if you're listening, it's this is the calendar of events. There are signposts on each thing, and it looks like pictures of like maybe not wanted pictures, but just face pictures. The three and the first three we have in the army camps. The second one, you think that we're getting for offense. I
I
wonder
think
though,
offense.
what if we each of those army camps is one of those, and that log launch or the battle ram comes out of the CC.
Oh, maybe. They've
I
never done anything like that before.
kind of like
Like defensively, it's just added into your
kind of
defensive
like
CC.
the troop launcher, but what if it just yeah? Because like with that troop launcher, you get the automatic giant and the bomb.
Mhm.
But you know what? That would be kind of cool on it. Maybe you're right.
That'll be
Yeah,
something
because the
new.
top row of army camp, the bottom row of offense. Well, I don't know.
Then that the very, very bottom right, you have the goblin guy from last month, party wizard, looks like the archer, uh,
Oh,
crazy
and those
giant. Is that the new elephant rider, or is that a root rider?
down in the
The bottom right, on that
he's
bottom right
got like
wanted
is it
poster.
it's either a unibrow or a
He's got
headband.
that elf hat on. What's the elf hat almost looking thing? But I wonder if that's that new elephant rider,
You
or
mean the
if
one
that's
in the
just
bottom middle?
nope,
The
bottom
giant looking
left.
guy?
No, bottom left. I think the giant guys from the kicker event, the Hal, I
Oh
forgot
yeah,
his name.
okay. You mean the girl with
There
the
was
like the
that,
headband?
no, on the left side,
The guy with the crown?
left of the headband. It looks like an elf kind of thing.
Oh, that's the royal ghost, I think,
Don't think so.
with the white beard.
No, bottom right poster next to your guy that you were talking
Oh,
about has the headband that looks like a giant.
yeah,
To the
okay.
left of him,
Oh, when you were saying left, then I was switching to the other side of the picture.
to
Okay.
the left of him,
The other
that's the new
left.
elephant
Okay.
rider. I think your other left.
Oh, you think so? I
Yeah,
bet
I think that's the new elephant rider.
it would be the perfect time to debut it because you've got, fan participation and
Yeah,
um
that's
and
another
playing
reason I
games.
decided to push this month is because there's all these event troops. The game will be broken.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Like, what
I usually do better on those than the regular months for some reason.
I probably will fully embrace it. I'll lock in my army with what I have right now because I don't think it's gonna change. And
Yeah,
I can come back to it, but then I'll just use the event troops.
in addition,
Yeah, like I
yeah.
get really worried about that, especially after the WWE season. That was like, I don't know, like coming back from that, like trying to find it again. I don't know, was a little tough for a little bit,
Yeah,
but
I've felt like in the past events where I've had some successes is you just did what you say, you throw in a couple of these troops in replacement to your main army. So I remember the Cookie Pekka being pretty easy to just plug in instead of the Valks.
yeah, yep.
You get a few Cookie Pekka, like one Cookie Pekka is worth like two or three Valks, and you just swap that out. Um,
Oh, that's
and
why I tried Super Belts after that. I think.
and then the ghost, you can just try it, but there's gonna be so many event troops that it's probably gonna be, I
Yeah,
feel like, almost overwhelming to figure out which ones are gonna be the best, like, and
hard to
what
figure out your
combination is the best because you've got so many different options.
and how to defend against it too. I mean, it's
Yeah,
pretty much
I think
impossible,
you
isn't
just
it?
give up. Yeah, you just give up on defense. You just try to make sure you're doing your best on offense.
Yeah, just out
Like
not mistake
you
them.
can't yeah, you can't defend these event troops. Like every month when I was really pushing, I've kind of figured that out. Like you just can't defend it. You just got to set your base, you leave it, whatever happens happens. You're just trying to offensively do whatever you can to outdo it. These army camp bases though are kind of, I haven't seen anybody really yet, and we're only a couple days into this army camp thing, put out bases specifically with army camps in different spots. I mean, that was a big thing during
Yeah,
the
WWE.
WWE when, like, people were putting those army camps in the middle of their base. Where these ones
Oh,
aren't as tanky, I feel like there's just time wasters on the outside of the base
well,
instead of throwing them in the middle of your base where because they're not tanky enough to actually do anything.
and I think part of it too is like buying the bases, getting them in,
Mhm.
and getting the cool down.
In
So you're
time, that's true.
so you're
Yeah,
like it's the first of the month starting
yeah.
CWL, and if you're getting a new base for that, you're just like getting
Gotta
your
wait.
CWL base set, and then you're
Yeah.
also not wanting to maybe put it out there like your good base, on
Yeah,
Legend, and then or then to adjust it, it's still gonna take like another day. So
yeah.
now that
The only
yeah,
one I think would be decent to put in the
I should
middle of your
work on
base would
one.
be that Broom Witch, because the Broom Witch seems like it's spawning those little things that takes a little bit longer for your army to get rid of. Like if you
Yeah,
could put that next to a spitter or your high damage
can really wreck an RC
scatter.
walk.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think it does the RC walk though because she's got the boots and she's just taking care of those things. Like I've noticed that the past couple days, if I do run into one of those on the outside and she pops out right away, the broom witch does. If I kind of cover her up with an invis, the electro boot
Does
just takes care of it with those little troops by itself without her having to attack each single one of those little things that pop out of the broom.
I think for me it was she just when she popped out, it drew the RC. You know, like the
Away.
boot set it off
Yeah,
or something, like a
yeah.
couple times, and then I had to waste an invis or something, and
To reset and get going again.
yeah. Well, should we want to wrap up? It's probably
Yeah,
an hour. Holy crap, an hour 45 minutes.
we got a long episode
Yeah.
here.
Um,
It's been a long
let's.
time. We had to catch up.
I know we still have a lot to talk about. I mean, even after with we're gonna have a lot to talk about after CWL and seeing how it goes. Um, the Controllable Hero challenges are live. I guess I gotta check that out yet.
Oh yeah, I haven't
Now that
checked
we're
that out today.
settled into CWL a little bit, things are rolling. So, shout outs this week.
Shout out to you, Scotty. You went above and beyond with this whole CQ fiasco of getting us our clan scammed and stolen, and you've put in a lot of work to try to help us out. So give you a big shout out to for trying that out.
Well,
I
I don't.
mean, you put in a lot of work.
Well, I can imagine being in that situation and like I can just imagine me and how I'd probably feel about it. And like, I
Hmm.
think it kind of speaks to a bigger issue because as I've heard and you've heard on other podcasts, probably that it's happening to more people. Um,
Yeah, I'm sure we're
and
not the only ones. Exactly.
it really, I don't know why it just, besides it being you and you guys and you guys being so awesome and it being just shouldn't be that difficult, you know, to try to get it back. I think it speaks to like I don't know what it is. There's something I'm trying to still figure out, but like the idea of
Isn't
like
it
a
there for sure?
community, you know, everybody puts in their, you know, like I don't know. It just seems like more of a problem that should be addressed,
Yeah,
you know. I don't
it's
know.
I listened to this other podcast about motorcycle racing, and this quick little tangent. This guy talked about his mom, how his mom got scammed into going and buying all these gift cards to send the pictures of the gift cards to these people to scam her because she was an old lady and didn't know any better, because she got an Amazon reward or something. It's just some people fall for stupid things. I mean, I literally almost fell for it because I was trying to help Em out. She emailed me and was like, "Hey, can you help me out? Here's the email." And I emailed them and they were like, "Okay, all we need you to do is we need you to put in this code and change." And that's when I was like, this isn't right. And so I
Yeah.
messaged everybody in the main group and it's like, what do you guys think about this? And luckily, like three guys right away, don't do it. And I didn't do it. Or else I would have lost my account too. And I would have,
You know, and it's
I
like
would probably would
this.
have just quit.
And it's yeah, that's the thing, right? And what scammers are really good at, and this is just
Hmm.
I think in general across the board, if you read an email or you read a text and you feel compelled to do something immediately,
Yeah.
that is a bad sign. Because these messages are designed very persuasively, like, oh, I'll give you just this much of the information, you know, that
Yeah.
it's a hook. It's a very like very
And it
persuasive,
even started
complicated.
off like, "Hey, chief." Like,
Yeah.
they're using the right lingo and everything to where it was, like, almost believable, and
And
the email matched up as, like, Clash of Clans something, and I'm like, "Oh, maybe it is," but
they're basically probably running it now through ChatGPT going, how can
yep,
I design this message to get people to feel that compelled to
yeah.
act? So like I get this text that says, "Hey, Janet, this is whatever. Should I be coming over to the barbecue at 5?" I mean that's what where you just feel, okay, that sounds like a nice person. Doesn't like don't do
Yep,
it. Like if you feel you get this thing, "Oh my god, I'm in trouble." You know what?
don't
They'll
do it.
come and get you.
Yeah,
whatever.
that exactly, right? Like,
Uh,
so let somebody go do something about it before you
yeah, it's
give in
just
into
like
the
a
scam.
psychological trick that's being. And I wish in those instances, Supercell would take a little bit more. A credit card company would handle it different, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, no, it's I can see both sides. Tip said it best too, like, they don't intermingle with clan drama is what they said in one of their emails, like, they let the clans do whatever the clans do.
Yeah.
Whoever gets kicked out and put back in is up to a clan, not up to them. But just a quick look of even you figuring out, "Hey, this person was only a leader for 12 hours before they, did something." And if you look back, they were a leader of, however many other clans within this certain short amount of time. Some red flag should have popped up and they should have done something about it. But
And I
it is
think
what
if
it is, and
and I think if
we're
they're
here.
like we're gonna go to a tournament, they do a background. They if that's
Hmm.
the I don't know how they do the thing, right? But people have
Yeah,
talked
like
about that,
Worlds, they're doing all those background checks, right? Like
and
they
it's
could
like
easily do an IP address check on that
if you are
and see
receive
super
a
quick.
complaint about that from some why there are there are mathematics above clan politics, or at
Hmm.
least data that would at least raise a flag. Does it
Yeah,
meet these criteria to
it's
raise a
not
red
just clan
flag?
politics anymore. Like this is
Yeah.
actual scam, stolen
And I
property
feel
kind of thing.
I feel like in part maybe it's just a little bit of their responsibility to protect people because not I mean reasonably, right? They say we would never
Yeah.
um do this, but that's why this, but that's why this. But you know what? People are humans, and
Hmm.
sometimes human things happen, and
We
that's
make mistakes.
going to happen.
Yeah.
And if this is happening to adults, I mean, what about kids like that are being, I'd be a little bit more concerned that people were misrepresenting um Supercell, as a
Yeah.
scammer and going, well, can you share this data with me, of like with the M thing, um
Hmm.
like once it's known or if it's part of that, like I don't know, just I'm still kind of working through it, but I mean, I can't imagine how you feel about it, but um I don't think it's over yet. Hopefully not. Still level 34. It's still sitting there.
Yeah.
I have a few ideas, but um, well, shout out to you guys for hanging in there through all that for sure. We'll be dropping off some loot for you guys.
Yeah,
Uh,
we've seen a bunch of guys pop in, so shout out to you guys for coming over and doing that. That's cool to
yeah, I'm happy to
come full
return the
circle on that.
favor.
We used to always go do it because we didn't think we'd need loot in CQ2,
Yeah,
and here we
uh,
are in
and
CQ3
Housenosis,
trying
if
to
you're
build up.
listening, Housenosis has been dropping by just to um, drop off some of his loot on like
Nice.
Sunday nights. So I'll tell him to head your way next time too.
Head our
On
way. Yeah, there's
CQR2.
been a bunch of people popping in that I don't even recognize names, and it's just like, thank you so much. Then they just come in and say
Load it
hi,
up.
and here you go, and head out, and it's super appreciated.
I'll try to pop over there this week more. I like to pop over there during the day and get a couple FCs when I can. Kind of fun. Um, so shout out to SG Bilal. Again, they came in the team that we played in the Clash Files family Double Trouble tournament. Was we've been in contact ever since. It looks like, and I'll let them share it. Uh, that they took third place, I believe. Um, but SG Bilal was there, so I won't shout out what the results of the tournament because I think that's a for them to do on their podcasts. But SG Bilal and Only Sanju, we faced off with and have been in contact with. They went to the semifinals and lost, but it's awesome to make friends in Clash, and a big shout out to them. And uh, just a real fun event. Got me kind of pumped up about things for sure.
That's cool.
Shout out to Chewy, who's on vacation, traveling the world somewhere. I'm on a surfboard. Trying to think now as I sit down. Shout out to the other Clash podcasts out there. I'm looking forward to listening to the one with Kat on the Clash Tours episode that I've got waiting in their newest one. Big shout out to the House of L. Shout out to all you listeners out there. And shout out to everybody, House of L2, L Warborn, moving around, making things happen. And looking forward to seeing how this CWL goes. And shout out to you for being here again. It's so much fun to catch up after a
Yeah.
long time.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Until next time, everybody, get a hold of us, clashofclanspodcast at gmail.com or clashofclanspodcast.com. Keep it clashy.
Keep it clashy.
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.